and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Today, hope you're feeling grand and all's well in your world. Hello there, everybody. Today's video tube, I am going to teach you one of my all-time favourite John Frusciante guitar solos. This is from the song I Could Have Lied, which originally is on the Blood Sugar Sex Magik album, but I'm not teaching that solo. I'm teaching the live at the Budokan. Circa 1999, 2000 era John, which is my favourite era of John. Live improvisation, the final solo. I won't be teaching the first solo, it's the final solo that has always got me. And you heard it in the intro, and I'm going to show you that today. So, without further ado, let's tube. Actually, let's talk about sound quickly, actually. So, around that period of time, John didn't have the humongous pedal board we all know he has now. He had very, very simple pedal board. Marshall Major, Marshall Silver Jubilee with the amps, going into the CE1 chorus pedal, then to the WH10 wah-wah pedal, then into a Phase 90, not the script version, the block logo version, then Boss DS2 and Boss Fuzz. And I always get mixed up which way around they are. I believe it's the Fuzz and then the DS2. And out to his guitar. That's it. There's no kind of like crazy modulations or anything like that. It's just, you know, straightforward. And to me, this is my favourite of John's tones. My favourite era of his playing. Just my favourite era of John, full stop, is the Californication era. His guitar playing is just so incredibly stunning. And the notes in this solo, and this is improvisational solo, are just... If I could play a solo this good in my life, I'd be very happy. Anyway, John plays the entire solo on the neck pickup of his 62 Strat. It's probably a combination of the fuzz pedal and the Boss DS2 in this solo. Part of me wants to think it's just DS2, but there's a certain thing that makes me think the fuzz might be in there. But personally, I mean, if you were to pin me down, I would say this solo is just the DS2. But I don't know, because John at that point in time was running the fuzz pedal, the FZ, and the DS2 a lot for solos. He was running them both together. And when you run them together, you get this really distinctive John Californication era tone. And that's it, I've done videos on that anyway. Today's video, though, for the intro, I just used the Boss DS2 because I said I don't have the fuzz, or any fuzz on my pedal board right now. But did John use both in that solo? Not sure. You know, it's kind of up to debate, really. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section below. But again, this is my favourite guitar solo. It's in the key of E minor. The chord progression is just E minor, G major, D major, and C major. And predominantly John plays around the pentatonics. There's kind of E minor pentatonic, there's G major pentatonic in there as well. And there's other notes here and there as well, which, you know, just sound gorgeous, and I don't care where they come from. They just sound amazing. Anyway, without further ado, people tube, let's get the camera in closer so you can see what I'm doing here, and let's get going. And the start of this solo, John actually kind of like gets this kind of distressed note, which is very hard to actually kind of get because he's getting it in the moment. But it's kind of like, as he's gone to bend the first note, he hits the string above it as well, and it gets this kind of distorted note tone. I mean, he's got the DS2 on, so it's distorted anyway, but you'll know what I mean in a sec. So, let me move the camera, and let's get on with this lesson on the I Could Have Lied Budokan final guitar solo, because it's just insanity. And I haven't done a teaching video for quite a while on John, and I've been meaning to do it for ages, haven't had time, and now I feel I'm really rusty about this, so I'm already scared of doing this video. So bear with me, people tube. I hope it's going to be okay. I hope it makes sense. Let's go. Okay, people tube. So thinking back now to what I just said about the whole tone thing, I do believe it is a combination of the DS2 and the Boss Fuzz. Like I said, John around that period of time was very rarely doing guitar solos with just the DS2 or just the Fuzz. It's mainly both. So I believe it's both. But you can get away with just using the DS2. Anyway, let's get on with the first part of this solo. So the first part of this solo, he's down here, and he starts by bending up the 17th fret on the high E a whole tone. So he's basically bending it up to the 19th fret here. So but it's a real emotional bend. You know, there's a lot. You can really feel the weight behind how John's playing that note. He's really, you kind of like, it's like a voice. It's not just, it's not that. It's this. It sings, you know. So bear that in mind when you're playing that first note. It has to sing, and you know, and that's this entire solo. And John's solos around this period of time, in general, sing. They don't really. They're not just kind of like, you know, or whatever. You know, they really have a very vocal quality to them, and they're very melodic, and they're really emotional, like heavily emotional. So that's the first note. We're bending up the 17th fret on the high E, and it's kind of like a rake down. So basically, the the G and B strings are muted, and he gets that. Well, technically, what it actually gets as well is this note on the B string on the 17th fret, because what he's done, he's kind of fat-fingered. So as he's gone to get this 17th fret note on the high E, he actually catches the B string 17th fret as well, and you get this kind of sound. And you actually hear that note ring out for a little bit, like a split second. If you listen really closely, you can hear that note. He kind of hits that, kind of that kind of thing, and you can hear this note ring out on its own for a very brief period of time until John up-picks and gets that note again. But invariably, to make it neater and tidier, you can do that if you want. It's quite hard to get to immediately to get. That's what John's technically doing, but I find it's a lot nicer personally just going to go do that. Anyway, so that's the first kind of part of the solo, really. It's that bend, and that is kind of, it's really important, that bend. It's just so mournful, and the way it comes in, oh my lord. Anyway, let's move on. I'll just kind of like harp on about that one note for the rest of my life. So, that's the first bar. And then he goes. So that's 15th fret on the high E, and then 14th fret high E, and then back to the 15th fret high E. So that's like this, so all together. Okay? And then what we do is we go to the 14th fret, and then we go from 14th fret high E to the 17th fret on the B. So that's the first part of the solo, and again, already it's just so somber. Yeah, it really, really fits the mood and the atmosphere of the song so well. And again, it's just improvised, which is just insane. Ah. And it's just so sad. It really is. It's just got so much heavy emotion and weight behind it. It's just incredible. So that's the first part. So, and then the next part is this. So we're bending up the 17th fret again on the high E, but it's kind of a release bend. So we're bending up and then releasing the bend. Like that. And then we go to the 15th fret high E, 17th fret high E, 14th fret high E, and then we finish up on the 15th fret high E. There. I mean, that is such a gorgeous little melody. Absolutely stunning. So the whole thing so far is this. And then we go. So we go 15th fret high E, 14th fret high E, and we go to the 17th fret on the B. And then you get this other gorgeous melody. Which is just heaven. Which is 15th fret high E, 15th fret B, and then we go to the 17th fret G. and we hear that. Dun, dun. So it's 2 notes on that 17th fret on high on the G string, on the high G. Where are you, Dave? Anyway, so the whole thing so far is this. I'll do it really slow. Ah, hang on. I got distracted by a car going past People Tube, and that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Again, like I said, I haven't done the teaching video in quite a while, so I do feel a bit edgy, and I'm second-guessing myself quite a lot. So bear with me, People Tube. Hope this is making sense so far. So again, so that's where we are so far, and that bit is just heaven. The next section, what we're doing here is we're going to the 14th fret on the G. And we slide down to the 12th fret G, and then we slide back up to the 14th fret on the G. So it's like that. So, okay, and then we go to the 15th fret on the B, and then we go to the 17th fret D, and then we finish up this phrase on the 14th fret on the D string. And this is kind of like the first part of the solo, if you will. This is like the first section. This is where Anthony stops singing and Chad stops going crazy on the drums, and everything kind of like just comes back down again from the kind of intensity that is the final chorus and that first part of the guitar solo. So, the whole thing so far is this. Okay, I'll do it again and try and do it a bit slower. It gets me every time. There's also a slight, almost mistake in this section here. Where John goes to the D string, he actually hits this note here for a very, like, it's literally for a split second, and he drags his finger down. So if you want to get that in, you can, but it's not actually, I don't believe that's actually what John was intending. He was intending to go there, but it's just in the moment, he just does that and then realises what he's doing, and he slides back down to the note he actually wants. So that bit is like this. And it is literally that fast. So if you want to put that in, you can. And it basically, all it is like a slide from the 17th fret to the 16th fret. Have I been calling that the 17th fret the whole time? I'm an idiot. People of the tube, if I've said that, I do apologise. Hopefully you can kind of see what I'm doing. And if I ended up messing up the numbers, then, you know, please forgive me. I don't do numbers very well, being dyslexic. So if I keep calling that the 17th fret, please correct yourself if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so yeah, so you can bear that in mind. He does do this kind of like tiny little slide from the 16th down to the 17th to the 16th. See, I'm no good with numbers. And then finish on the 14th fret on the D. Okay, so the next section, we're going to go back up here to the 17th fret on the B. And we're going to do this. Which is basically a repetition of a lick we've technically already played, but it's a slight variation. So it's 17th fret B, 15th fret high E, 15th fret B, and then it's the 16th fret G. Okay. Okay, then we go to a kind of a variation on the other riff lick we've played as well. We start on the 14th fret B, and then we go to the 15th fret B. G. 14th fret G, 15th fret B, and then what we do here. Now this is quite I don't know. It can get your fingers. We bend up the 14th fret on the D. So, and kind of, I think John's doing it with those fingers. Okay, so that whole kind of like second section, if you will, when the song's starting to calm down, is this. And again, I hope this is making sense to you. I'm already terrified this video is absolute tripe. That bend's really cool. Absolutely amazing. Okay, so the whole thing, again, let's just go back and recap the whole solo so far, is this. It's just insane. It absolutely blows my mind. This. I do apologise to you. I had to blow my nose. I don't want to get sniffly on camera. Okay, so that's where we are so far. And then we kind of like carry on with this kind of like descending kind of like, I don't know, motif, if you will. And John goes... okay, so this is the next lick. So... then we go to the 12th fret. Sorry, hang on. Yeah, so it's a release bend back to the 14th fret on the D, 12th fret D, and then we go to the 14th fret on the A, and then we go back to the 12th fret D, and then we bend down the 10th fret on the A. So from so I'll do that one again. And then what we do, we go down to the 9th fret A, and that's kind of like I don't know how you'd call it, but I call it a drag note. So you hit that on there, and then you drag it. You're not actually picking that note. He doesn't pick that note. And then you slide up from the 9th fret A, you slide up to the 14th fret on the A, and then you slide back down to the 7th fret on the A string. Okay? I hope this is making sense. Again, I'm absolutely terrified. I get so freaked out doing teaching videos. Okay, so from that kind of like... okay, so that's where we are. So I'll do it one more time. And those three notes there, and again, John doesn't actually play them. He's relying on the sustain from the guitar, because he's got a lot of it, to carry those notes along. And you can hear, it just adds so much to it. It's just insane. So now we've ended up back on our root note, our E note here. So, and then we slide back up to the 10th fret A, down to the 5th fret A, 2nd fret A, and then we slide all the way back up to the 12th fret A, and then 10th fret A, okay, And I'm going to stop right there for a second, just go back, recap. That's where we are so far. So again, let's go from there. Okay, I'm going to do it one more time. Okay. So I'm going to stop there. I'm going to play the whole thing now as well, because we're coming to the end already. It's not a very long solo. It's under a minute, but it's absolutely stunning. So this is the whole thing so far, and I'll do it. I won't do it normal speed, but I'll try and do it a bit slower, and then I'll try and do it slower again after that. So this is the whole guitar solo so far. Okay, so what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and do it Django Reinhardt style, just to 2 fingers, so you can hopefully see a little bit better as well. So, let's go again. And hopefully you can see what notes I'm picking and what I'm not picking. You know, like I say, John isn't hitting every note, and also you can kind of get the idea of how many times you hit certain notes as well. Like say on a, you know, on that kind of thing. But that's where we are so far, Pidgey, and we're rapidly coming to the end, actually. Again, it's not long, but it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, where are we? And then what we do here is we slide from the 12th fret A string to the 14th fret A string. And then we go back to the 12th fret A string. Then we go down to the D string on the 12th fret. And then we hit that once, and then the next time we bend it up. With one finger, John does as well, and that actually does kind of hurt. And then we go up to the 14th fret on the A. And then we come down here to the G string, where we play the 11th fret for a very brief period of time. We slide from the 11th fret to the 12th fret really quick. Okay? Like that. So from the... And then we go back down to the 11th fret on the G string and actually play it like that. And then coming right to the end now, we're going to bend up the 14th fret on the G string like that. And then we're going to reach our little finger in as this note is bent up a tone. So we're getting this note. We're going to reach our little finger in and we're going to play the 15th fret on the B string. Like that. And then the last thing we do, the last thing John does in this solo, is a unison bend, which is where you're bending one string and you're bending it to the note of the string beneath it. So we're going to bend up the G string, again on the 14th fret, a tone. but we're going to have our first finger on the the G string, the B string here on the 12th fret. So we're going to bend again, bend up the G string on the 14th fret, a tone, and then this finger, your first finger, wants to be on the 12th fret on the B. And John kind of like gets his tremolo arm and starts going crazy. But that's the entire solo, People Tube. It's not... there's nothing flashy in this, but it's the most perfectly emotive solo that I feel like. It's just to me, it's perfect. It really is. And again, I just find it insane. So I'm going to play it again through now and let you hear the whole thing. And again, I hope this has made sense. I hope you can kind of follow where I am with this one. As usual, I'm battling the urge to just go, oh, I'm rubbish at this, I can't do this, and quit. So hopefully this makes some kind of sense. So the whole thing is this. One more time for look. When you get the tremolo arm and go crazy on it. And that's it. That's the whole solo. It's absolutely insanely perfect to me. Like, every note is just full of emotion, and it's the right note at the right time. And John, in this period of time, for me, just hit all the notes I would ever want to hear, like, at the perfect time. It's just insane. I absolutely adore it to pieces. So, I hope this video has made some kind of sense to you. I hope it's been kind of like, I hope you can understand where I'm going with it and what I'm saying. Because I know I tend to mess up the numbers and the strings because my brain doesn't function very well with numbers and stuff. So hopefully it makes some kind of sense. But it literally is just one of the most gorgeous guitar solos. And I've wanted to teach it for a while. And hopefully, because it's an improvisational solo, it's not actually on the album solo. And John only ever did this solo once, which makes it even more special. I shouldn't get had up for again any kind of copyright nonsense or anything like that, because again, it's an improvisation. I'm not technically using the song or anything like that. And again, it's for educational purposes, but that doesn't seem to matter in this day and age. But hopefully it'll get through. If not, this video has been... it'll disappear. Anyway, hopefully it will get through. And again, it's just incredible. And even if you're not a fan of John, there's so much in this solo. Even that first bend, just the amount, how he plays it, and the emotion behind that note, and the intensity, and the commitment to it, and like just the what's the word? Like I don't know. I can't think of the exact word I'm looking for, but it's just insane. And it's just so heartfelt. Again, it could have just gone, but it's not that. It's it really sings, and a lot of this solo does sing. And those bends, they're so somber. These half, some of these half, these well, they're not half step bends. These full step bends. It's just incredible. It really is. Anyway, I hope it's made somewhat sense. I say this comes out of key of E minor. It's mainly using E minor pentatonics and G major and the 5 positions of pentatonic scales up here. I'm sure some of those notes when the chord progression changes to G major or D major or C major are kind of, you know, not, they're different. They've been changed, but I'm not clever enough to know any of that kind of thing. But it's absolutely amazing. So I'm going to try now. I don't know how this. I'm going to try and do it with the DS2 on now at kind of full speed for you to let you hear it. And again, when you've got distortion on it, it's all well and good doing it in clean. But when you get distortion on this thing, it takes on a different life. And again, it just becomes more intense and more emotional. And because it's singing more, there's more sustain. And keep an eye on my right hand to see which notes you play and which ones you don't. And again, in all fairness with YouTube, like I always say on these videos, you don't have to play it exact anyway. You know what I mean? You don't. If John doesn't play a note at that point, but you want to, you do. You know, you can pick it if you want. Obviously, I'm teaching this soloing note for note, but if you want to change bits of it, you can. You know, you can kind of do what you want with it. Really, you really can. It's you know, it's your thing, really. This is John's thing, but it's just a masterclass to me in heartfelt melodic soloing and emotion. You can feel the emotion in it, and you can feel that's all. This is everything at this point in time. You know, that is everything at that point in time when John's playing that. So let's try it again with the DS2. Hopefully, I shouldn't peek the camera. Ah, you see, you already messed it up. And I messed up the ending because I'm starting to feel the pressure. Anyway, but again, you know, I Could Have Lied is such a great song to kind of learn soloing over anyway, and you can make your own up. Let me just make one of mine up quickly. Let's just see what happens. I'm going to start with the same note John does, and then just kind of go and just give you an idea. Hopefully you can kind of see and just kind of go where you want to kind of go with it. Anyway, there you go, Poochoo. That's my little contribution to this video. That's a little improvisation. Anyway, hope this video has been okay, Poochoo. I hope it's made some kind of sense. And again, I hope it at least taught the solo to some extent okay. Oh, I'm having such a crisis now. I'm going to have to go and lay down. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this vid. And now again, I will see you very soon for another one. I want to get into doing more of these as well, like teaching kind of like some of my favourite improvised guitar solos. Because again, I think I can kind of get around the copyright nonsense with it being improvisational. And also, it's kind of like cool to look at some other people's improvised solos because it gives you ideas for your own. Like, I love John's use of the E, A, and D strings down here. John's one of the only guitarists I know who really, you know, utilizes the low strings for soloing. A lot of guitarists will kind of just stick to the high, and the way John uses the low strings is just absolutely stunning to me. Like, sometimes you're like... Yeah, there's so much emotion to be had on those low strings down there. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video too. If you like the videos I do on this channel, please consider becoming a patron at Patreon. Links to that are in the description box below. As well as links to my Bandcamp where you can listen to me music. Other than that, I will see you again very soon for another video. Have a great morning, afternoon, good evening, and goodbye now. I'm terrified this video has made no sense. Anyway, I hope it has. See you later.